Welcome back to Logan Figures It Out. Today we're doing something totally different. We are doing an instant reaction to the new Halloween Ends movie. As you could judge from the title, I am extremely disappointed in this movie. I had everything ready. I took the day off of work to watch this movie. We make a big deal about it. I got my mask ready. I'm pumped up. It's Michael. I made cupcakes with little Michael knives and everything, blood dripping down. We got our Halloween cups. We're ready to go, baby. Drinking, enjoy the movie, get your popcorn ready. I'm excited. And what does David Gordon Green do? Give us the absolute worst Halloween movie in the history of the franchise. Halloween 3 included. I have actually grown to like that one. This movie has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. All the leaks prior to this movie coming out are 100% true. So if you're watching it and you haven't seen it yet, spoilers, be aware. But if you've read all the other stuff, it's all true. And a lot of people are trying to defend the movie, saying that if these things come out and it happens to be real, this will be the worst movie ever. This stuff sounds so far-fetched. There's no way it could possibly be true. No way the whole movie could be Corey Cunningham. Well, guess what? It's all about this stupid Corey Cunningham. This movie has nothing to do with Laurie versus Michael. It has nothing to do with the original movie. So you guaranteed us or promised us a trilogy that was supposed to do with the 78. This was the most uninspiring conclusion you could ever come up with. Again, we learned nothing about Laurie. The ultimate showdown that we were supposed to have, Michael versus Laurie, going at it like WWF style. That's what we wanted. Give us like half an hour of it. No, you gave us literally 3 minutes. Everything that is in the trailer for the showdown, that's it. That's all there was. You get the 3 minutes. That's it. The entire fight is in the trailer. Just an absolute waste. Michael really not in this movie. Again, be prepared more for a Halloween 3-esque type movie than it is Michael Myers movie. I mean, I thought, honestly, this movie made Rob Zombie's 2 look like an absolute masterpiece, Oscar-winning movie. There's just so many problems with it. For one, when the movie starts, I actually don't mind it. That opening sequence of Corey mistakenly killing the child, it was okay. I didn't have a problem with it. But then it just goes nowhere from there. Like, this town that's hell-bent on revenge and all these Michael Myers type people somehow just let this kid out of prison because they all agree it's a mistake. I highly doubt it. I mean, the way the parents see it is probably how most people would see it. I'm sure the police, judges, whoever. And again, the whole town's hell-bent on not having another Michael Myers, but yet the jury just lets him out 4 years later. No real explanation. And then we're supposed to believe that this Corey Cunningham, he just goes to see Michael in the sewers. So we have this Pennywise Part 2 scene where bullies throw a kid over a bridge and he goes into the sewers. Just like in Pennywise, It. And then apparently Michael, I don't know if he's living with the Ninja Turtles, he's on mutagen. I don't know if he gets his magical powers living in the sewers. Corey looks him face to face and he says, do you know what? I'm going to get possessed. I don't know. Now Michael Myers has possession powers. Why don't you do this after any of the other movies? He got shot 6 times in the original, and he still had the energy to come back. Halloween Kills, he gets stabbed 1,000 times, beaten up, whatever else, by an entire mob. He still lives. Now this Corey Cunningham kid, random, like, whatever, 21-year-old kid, he can just push him around, beat him up, whatever. Somehow he's still surviving. I don't know. No food, no hospital attention, but he's weak. Made no sense. I will say with Allison, which I understand, I'm not Brad Pitt. I don't claim to be, but Corey Cunningham, he is literally like one of the ugliest people alive. Not sure how he's pulling in Allison. We're supposed to believe Allison's just hot over this guy. He has all these redeeming qualities. And then even himself, all right, so what? She likes him, likes how he looks. She goes out on the date with him. The guy's a total jerk, but yet that just turns her on even more. I guess girls really do dig the bad guys, but it's so unbelievable that she would be with this person. In the last couple movies, her boyfriend was such a jerk. We actually felt bad for Allison. In this one, you end up hating Allison. She's just like a whore. You see, has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. You could care less if she dies. She means nothing. She just wants to fight with Laurie the whole time. Who knows why? She's just trying to protect her. It's pretty evident. It just, again, has no sense to the writing. The other thing that I really had a problem with is now Laurie is supposed to just be totally fine with the entire situation. She's over Michael Myers. How comes in the original movie it took her 40 years? The guy's in prison. 40 years, nothing happens, and she's so wigged out of her mind. I gotta have, cages in my house. I gotta have all these death traps. I'm have all this ammunition. I have a full militia going on. I can train, shoot, all this stuff. Now, 4 years later, after her own daughter's murdered, he comes back. Michael's not even accounted for. No one knows where he's at. But I'm not afraid anymore. No, I'm over it now. Again, the writing is so bad. David Gordon Green, you are a hack. Everything that you did in this movie well, you actually stole from all the other movies. This entire trilogy had rehashes of the original stuff that all you wanted to do was retcon anyway, but then you bring it back in. The entire opening movie was from Halloween 2, for Halloween Kills. It's just ridiculous. Half the deaths are the same. You brought in every single part of basically Halloween 2. You brought in parts of Halloween 4. You brought in 5, 6. You brought in parts of H2O, which again was a far more satisfactory ending than what we got here. Halloween H2O, it's definitely reminiscent of like that 90s slasher period, and the mask is horrendous, we can all agree. But the movie itself is 1,000 times better. At least you get Michael and Laurie fighting it out. You have Laurie as a strong character you actually like. Some of the other things with the cameos, I thought like Nick Castle being in it. All right, that's cool. You put him in there and he opens his shirt. Hey, see anything you like? Again, you just like stole the line and we're supposed to be funny. We enjoy that from the original. If you're going to be that blunt in your face about it, why not just put PJ Souls in that role? It would have been better. And then the bum who says, oh, I'm Michael Myers. Make that Nick Castle, because he was Michael Myers. It would have been a lot funnier. Again, I don't think they need to be in it at all, but if you're going to be that blunt about it and jam it in our face, you might as well do it well. But again, your writing's horrible. Every joke you try to do, pathetic. I will say the deaths are pretty lame in this movie. I really did like the deaths in Halloween Kills. They're super violent, gory. A lot of the deaths, I think there was at least 3 or 4 in this movie, are completely off screen. So the doctor's definitely off screen. When Corey goes to kill his mom, off screen. I don't understand that. The rest were just stabs and hacks. And again, you stole a scene from the original Halloween. Obviously, he stabs a nurse, does the head tilt. It's Bob all over again. Again, just show some originality every once in a while. Just wasn't good. You killed the DJ. It was okay, but nothing great. The entire junkyard scene was just meh, whatever. You ran a kid over in a car. I don't know. Again, I know it's so convenient that Corey works at the mechanic shop, so he can just already has the overalls. He just has to steal the mask to become Michael. I just don't get where that comes into the mythology whatsoever. We're supposed to believe what? So Michael, as a little trick-or-treater, went to some guy's house, looked at him and was like, I'm possessed. I'm going to be the killer? No. And the mask has no powers because it was at a freaking hardware store before Michael stole it. So how did he get the powers? Now he can just transport him into another person's body. It might as well be Jason Goes to Hell. I will say, if you're going to do this whole possession thing, again, it's a ripoff pretty much anyway. We could have did it with the end of Halloween 4 going into 5, and they were too afraid to do it. At least the writing in that made a lot more sense. Everybody liked Jamie. Danielle Harris is obviously a fan favorite of the franchise. You really could have just went with it there. Instead, we get Corey Cunningham to do it, which was just atrocious. Sorry to say for the actor, I don't know how you're going to do conventions. I think you're going to be the most hated character in the entire franchise. I don't know why anyone wouldn't pay for you. I think people are going to want to hate you. As an actor, he's not charismatic. He's not good looking. He's not... There's just nothing to him. He's a kind of boring person. I don't know. You don't watch it and be like, wow, this kid, he's going to be like the next superstar. He'll be in the new Avengers movie or whatever's going on. He's it. He's Hollywood. Why did you want to even make this movie about him? I don't know how he got the part. I don't understand it. But again, if you're going to go through this whole thing, you had it developed in Halloween 4 and you were too afraid to do it. Now you do it, and you do it in the most lackluster way. Ugh. This movie was atrocious. The fact that Laurie or Jamie Lee herself is saying this was such a great conclusion to the Laurie Strode story goes to show, obviously, she has to say that. It's her payday. Obviously, I can understand that. This is no satisfactory ending towards Laurie. As a fan, it makes me really angry. You try to just get over the movie. It just made no sense. It was just really poorly done. To have a movie that promised an ending of Michael and Laurie finally getting on, which we really should have just had in 2018. We know it was a successful movie. They reshot that ending to try to write this trilogy out. And if you're going to write a trilogy, fine, but make it sensical. None of this, you could tell they just wrote it on a whim. There's no way that this movie was written back in 2018 with everything in mind. There's zero chance of that. It just doesn't follow anything going on with the other ones. Doesn't harken back to 78. Like, Kills at least went back to the flashback scene was great. You brought in Loomis a little bit. I enjoyed all that. It has some redeemable qualities. It's not the greatest, but it has redeemable qualities. I don't know, I've watched this twice now. I just can't go back. I will say the second time watching it, the movie felt a lot faster. I thought the first time was very slow. The whole buildup of Corey until somebody dies. It takes quite a while. The runtime on this, an hour, 50 minutes. It's about 50 minutes until something really takes hold. And I gotta say, that whole tag team killing of Michael with Corey is just stupid. Michael has never shown compassion towards anybody, and all of a sudden we have compassion for this random kid. He's gonna actually kill with him. And like at times you think maybe Corey's giving him his power back because he stands more upright. Oh, I'm Michael, I got the juice. But then in the end, he ends up killing Corey anyway, so it didn't matter. But then Michael, when he's fighting Laurie, he's still weak. Again, there's just nothing logical to this movie. I think it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. I don't know how people could enjoy this. It has nothing to do with Michael. I will say, if this was the reboot and this was totally something different, I could be more on board with it. What else are you going to do with the franchise at this point? I don't know. But when you're promising this Michael-Laurie showdown, I'll say it again, it just did not deliver. You had a 3-minute fight, all of which was in a trailer. Part of it's not even really Michael, so we have this Jason 5 scenario going on. I don't know. I truly hope it is over. It ends. At least David Gordon Green's version has ended. Thank God. You suck, David Gordon Green. Your comedy in the first movie, horrible. I'm sure that was Danny McBride's writing. Pathetic. The whole peanut butter thing, it still has me angry. You're just not a good writer. You're not a good director. Hate to say it. You can't direct hard. There's probably not much you can direct. I don't know how you have a job. But I know I'm harsh on this, but big fan. I have more Michael Myers merchandise than anybody. You can watch the other videos, see how pumped up we are about it all year long. And then you just give us trash. There's nothing really redeeming about it. I know I'm spitfiring. I'm all over the place. This is my instant reaction. I didn't write notes. I didn't take any of this stuff, so I'm all over the place. These are just my honest feelings. This is by far the worst in the franchise. Just other things as they're coming to my mind. Why did you even have the old sheriff back in the movie? Him and Laurie should have been clearly together after the last movie. You thought these two are going to be dating. You bring them into the movie. They still like one another. They're flirting all the time. What's the reason for not dating? And if they're not, does he need to be in the movie? Absolutely not. He didn't bring anything to it. Why is he in it if he's not involved with Laurie? Is this like, that would have made sense for the writing. It's an easy thing to do. You didn't give it to us. So, I don't know. Again, Laurie's over it 4 years later after her daughter dies. It seems like Allison never even really says anything about her mom or dad other than Laurie gives them their wedding bands. That's it. There's no sadness there. She could really care less, it seems. She's just all about Corey, the new infatuation of a wrongfully unconvicted, I guess, child killer. I just can't say it again. The movie makes no sense. All right, so come the end, Michael gets basically crucified on the table. That was kind of cool, whatever. I kind of dug it. I will say the H2O ending, far superior in my mind. This one, again, at this point, we don't know, is he a normal guy or not a normal guy? he clearly can't be normal after he survived all the other stuff he survived in 18 and kills plus 78. And then if he can transpose his powers into somebody else, into Corey, just by looking at him, he's clearly not a normal person. But yet we just slice his wrist and he bleeds out. And we're supposed to believe that's how he's truly dead, I guess. And then the townspeople, they just all happen to know exactly what's going on. Who knows how, again, poor writing. They all walk down the street at the end and they pass him over like he's a martyr. He's just getting passed along. It was like a funeral procession for the queen. Pass him along through the casket area. They put him in whatever, the chipper, and he gets chipped up. So is he truly dead? At this point, obviously he has to be, but does his blood pour into something else? Who freaking knows? Is Corey still alive somehow? Because maybe the power's with him. That's how Michael actually did die. He was a human being at that point. They never explain it. We don't know. All we can say is hopefully, again, this is David Gordon Green's last movie. I don't know how Malek Akkad signed off on this. I don't know how anyone approved this movie. I don't know where to go with it. 2 thumbs down. Worst day ever. R.I.P. Michael.